Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Cozy Rainbow Podcast. My name is Tammy, but my students know me as Miss Haddad.
My name is Joe, and I ride a lot of buses.
And on today's episode of the Cozy Rainbow Podcast, we are talking all about school buses. Where do they come from? Where do they go?
Hopefully to school.
School buses. I rode them from 6th grade all the way until 11th grade. So I spent hours and hours on school buses, and I used to wake up at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. to get on the school bus when I was a little 12-year-old. It was rough.
I was maybe a tad bit older. After I got my license and I started driving to my college, I learned that parking on campus is nigh impossible. And we have a perfectly good bus that rides in a straight line from our house to the school. So I ride that bus. It's not strictly a school bus. It's just public transportation. But it's my very special school bus. I love it so.
So let's get on with these trivia questions. Question number 1. Why are school buses yellow?
Why
are they yellow?
Yellow seems like a completely arbitrary color for a school bus to be. Shoot. If you had to, I guess yellow is that real bright yellow that they paint the school buses with. It's a big, noticeable sort of object when it's yellow, and it tells you that there are probably children nearby, so you better be careful and not, be irresponsible in your big car.
Very insightful guess. Thank you, Joe. Number 2, is it true or false? People choose to live inside of school buses.
I'm sure there are much stranger things to choose to live inside than a school bus. So, yeah, true.
True. Joe thinks that people live inside of school buses. There's a certain celebrity cartoon character on the cartoon Magic School Bus who lives inside of a school bus. Do you know what I'm talking about? Miss Frizzle?
Well, yes, Miss Frizzle, but she doesn't...
She's not a person, she's a cartoon.
I don't think you can call that a bus.
Get on the Magic School Bus.
That's a lot more than a bus. I think it's unfair to say that she's a person who chooses to live inside of a bus. I'm sure she hits the turn into a house button and then lives inside of that.
Right. Okay, question number 3. Carl Fisher holds the world record for the longest bus driver career. He drove for A, 55 years, B, 66 years, C, 77 years, or D, 88 years.
All right. So I don't have a lot of information here. How young can a bus driver possibly be? Shoot, I don't. When was he born? When is he still going? Did he retire? I guess I'll go with 77 years because I like the number 7.
It's lucky. All right, everybody, we are going to reveal the answers to those trivia questions and some more fun facts right after this quick break from our sponsors.
Ad time.
Fellas, fellettes, fell-thems. Welcome back to the Cozy Rainbow Podcast.
Fell-thems.
School buses are a means of transportation for kids to get to school. Or maybe college students, I guess, sometimes.
Well, again, I don't strictly ride a school bus. It's just public transportation.
Mm-hmm. So, depending on what country you live in, school buses can look different. So in some countries, school buses only exist for private school students. In Havana, Cuba, yellow school buses purchased from Canada are actually used for public transit or public transportation.
It's good to recycle.
In Australia, so I was dying to say this when you were saying that you don't ride a school bus per se, but just public transit to school. So in Australia, there are no children's school buses except for the city of Wagga Wagga. Most kids in Australia take the public bus system with a discounted price, and Wagga Wagga is the 9th largest city in Australia. So just like you, Joe. Well, Joe, do you get a discounted fare for being a student?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, half price.
Ooh.
Half-ish.
I wonder how much the discount is in Australia. Don't you think that kind of makes sense, though, to have the same buses used for school and public
It's good to
transportation?
recycle.
It's good to recycle, but also, I don't know, sometimes there's weird people on the bus, like the public bus. Here. But you know what? When I lived in Utah, I don't think there wasn't as many weird people on the bus. Anyway, okay, this is really fun, Joe. Get ready. Some Japanese school buses are shaped like kids' characters like Pikachu, Thomas the Tank Engine, and Hello Kitty. These school buses are only for kindergarten students, and actually the majority of Japanese students are able to walk to school.
Japan seems like a very compact place, like an entire country of New Yorks.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been to Japan, either has Joe. So, but there are these like they're not really viral, but they're pictures that exist on the internet of these very cute characters.
They're easily findable.
Yeah, these cute character school buses on the internet. So I'm actually really sure that not every single school bus in Japan and not even every kindergarten school bus in Japan is shaped like a kid's character, but there are at least some, which is adorable. All right. School buses are yellow because yellow is the safest color for moving vehicles. People can more easily see yellow in their vision span.
Well, that's an odd little fact. I'm going to have to do a little bit of research on why yellow things are so much more visible than any other color, apparently.
Well, it's only for moving vehicles, because then when you have signs, like not advertisements, but like business signs, and red is a popular color, like Target or CVS.
Well, you say Target, but Walmart's blue, and Target has Walmart, Smith's has Albertsons.
Smith's is red.
Well, my point is that there's also blue ones.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. School buses were legally required to be yellow starting in 1939, and I believe that's an American fact because they are different. Yeah, school buses come in all colors, but the majority of school buses around the world are in fact yellow. According to the World Resource Institute, 38 out of 50 states in the United States of America are now using electric school buses.
It's good to recycle.
It's good to recycle. Unlike electric school buses, regular school buses use diesel fuel. Diesel fuel creates a harmful pollution that can cause a variety of diseases. I believe diesel fuel is the one that's most expensive at the gas station, right?
I don't really pay attention to diesel fuel because I don't drive cars that use diesel fuel.
Usually.
I'm not a maniac.
Usually.
What do you mean usually?
My dad is a car dealer.
I've driven cars that use diesel. Not okay, I shouldn't say that on the podcast. I've been exposed. Okay, I drive a hybrid car now. California is the state with the most electric school buses. Woohoo! Go Cali. Cali. Over 20 million children in the U.S. ride to school on a school bus. Some people, and this fact is the whole reason why I decided to do an episode on school buses, some people have learned how to convert a school bus into a living space. A school bus house is called a skoolie, spelled with a K. That's Skooolie, skoolie.
And a living space. There's a lot of space for a lot of different things on a school bus. I mean, there's just a bunch of seats in the way. You get rid of the seats, you got anything you want. You got a big old tube of endless possibilities.
I would describe it as a tube. Yeah, I've seen some very, 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 very cool YouTube videos about school bus conversions. I saw one where, I mean, it was basically like a whole little house, and the master bedroom, they like lower
Master bedroom.
they lower their mattress is like on these electric things that like lift it up and down like a pulley system. And so during the day they put their bed up, they go and it goes up, and then at night they go and they push it down, and it's like electric and maybe even solar powered, because a lot of those like school bus conversion things have solar panels on the top. That way they're like sustainable, except for, are they really sustainable because they use diesel fuel?
Fellas, school buses are the new tree houses.
In a way. All right. So there's an event called Skooliepalooza that takes place every year for people who live in school buses to connect. And the reason why people choose to live inside of a school bus is usually because they love to travel. These people either save up enough money from their regular jobs to travel full-time, or they will do remote work while they travel across the country. And lastly, I'm going to tell you about a certain world record holder named Carl Fisher. The longest school bus driver career ever documented in the world record book is 66 years. So Carl Fisher was a school bus driver for a cool 66 years.
Carl Fisher, more like Carl Driver. Heyo.
All right. So this week's creative challenge is to design a school bus that you would like to live in. I would recommend doing this on graph paper.
But don't let those little squares limit your imagination.
Yeah, don't let them. You could do it in any type of way that you want.
Those squares don't control you.
Let's go back over those trivia questions. Let's find out how well Joe was listening. All right, number one, why are school buses yellow, Joe?
Yellow was the safest color for moving vehicles somehow.
Exactly. Very nice. True or false, people choose to live inside of school buses?
Skoolies, thank you very much. True. Exactly. Very true. There's a word for it.
Yeah. And number three, Carl Fisher holds the world record for the longest school bus driver career. He drove for how many years?
66 years.
66 years. So once again, that creative challenge is to design a school bus or a schoolie that you'd like to live in. The deadline for this creative contest is on September 1st, 2022. You may enter if you're between the ages of 7 to 17. If you're under the ages of 13, then you need to have your parent or guardian submit your work for you. They can email it to cozyrainbownv@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Instagram at cozyrainbownv. You can check out some other students' artwork there. I post the student artwork on the Instagram. I post it on the website. So check us out. And the website is www.cozyrainbow.org. That's all we have today, everybody. All right.
Thanks for listening.